After your old tricks, I see.
Why not? I'm a charlatan.
When someone watches a doc, they're expecting the information being presented to them to be the truth. And while it may be the truth to someone, it's not always entirely factual. Each filmmaker brings their own perspective and opinion when creating a documentary. They create a film that represents their version of the truth. They can leave out details that don't fit their narrative. They can dramatize the events to get the audience to feel more empathy or sympathy. They can use editing to skew the narrative, etc. The end goal of most documentaries is not necessarily to be educational, but to get you to agree with it. But when does the documentarian cross the line? When does the filmmaker's own personal truth that they're presenting to their audience no longer become credible? Searching for Sugarman is a 2012 documentary directed by Swedish filmmaker Malik Bengelo. The doc follows Steven Sugar Surgerman and Craig Bartholomew Stridham, two South African fans investigating the rumored death of musician Sixto Rodriguez. The film won several awards, including Best Documentary Feature at the Oscars. This is the story that the doc presents to its audience. Sixto Rodriguez recorded 2 albums in the late 70s that never took off in the States and disappeared shortly after. He was rumored to have killed himself. His music did take off in South Africa during the anti-apartheid movement. About 30 years later, 2 fans of Rodriguez, Surgerman and Stridham, set out to find out what happened to him. They discovered that he was very much alive and working as a builder in Detroit. They helped him set up a stadium tour in South Africa, which sold out. The information presented is partially true, but it is in no way the whole story. While it's true that he flopped in the US, Rodriguez didn't disappear from the music scene. He was a minor hit in both Australia and New Zealand. He toured in both countries and released a live album. He also opened for Midnight Oil at the height of their popularity. His records sold well pretty much everywhere except the US. He's not as obscure or underground as the doc would lead you to believe. The mystery and the search itself surrounding Rodriguez was also extremely exaggerated for the film. The information the doc omitted isn't egregious. Plus, the mysterious disappearance and rumored suicide of a musician is a really good hook. I'd say that the doc could still be seen as credible. It gets a lot of stuff right, but intentionally leaves out certain information in favor for a more interesting story. It creates a myth surrounding Rodriguez, which I think works as it likely follows the same mindset as the 2 main subjects. The film walks the viewer down the same story that Surgerman and Stridham experienced.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm here to open up an account.
Okay, what type of account would you?
I want the account where I can get the free gun.
Okay.
Bowling for Columbine is a 2002 documentary by Michael Moore. The documentary discusses and investigates the 1999 Columbine High School massacre and the events that led up to it. The film has a heavy focus on gun control and fear within American culture. Moore interviews several different subjects ranging from Marilyn Manson to members of the Michigan militia. The film as a whole is primarily comprised of interviews. Most of the information being presented is the opinions of multiple subjects. Moore prompts them with more questions, trying to get more out of them. The film as a whole takes a pro-gun control stance and heavily criticizes the US's obsession with guns, and in turn criticizes those who are in power and do nothing to prevent gun violence. The issue that I have is with how the film presents some of its information. The film's editing is manipulative at times. The biggest example that comes to mind is the interview with Charlton Heston at the end of the film, who at the time was the president of the NRA. Moore starts out with smaller questions, but eventually escalates into heavier territory.
Yeah, but did you feel it was being at all insensitive to the fact that this community had just gone through this?
Actually, I wasn't aware of that at the time we came. We came and did a early morning rally and went on to wherever we were going.
You didn't know at the time when you were there that this killing had happened. Had you known, would you have not?
Would I have canceled the?
Yeah.
I don't.
Not it wasn't that you. It wasn't like it was already planned. I mean, the choice to come there was made after this horrible killing took place. You know, had you known that, would you have come?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Do you think you'd like to just maybe apologize to the people in Flint for coming and doing that at that time, or?
Do you want me to apologize? Me to apologize to the people in Flint?
Yeah. Or the people in Columbine for coming after their horrible tragedy. I mean, why do you go to the places after they have these horrible tragedies? And I'm a member of your group here.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid we don't agree on that.
You think it's okay to just come and show up at these events? You don't think it's okay?
Several reviewers heavily criticized this moment within the film. Many suggest that Moore ambushed Heston. One person even went as far as to say that Moore was the bully and Heston was the victim who could not defend himself. But I disagree. I think this was a great moment of journalism that was ruined by the following moment.
Mr. Heston, just one more thing. This is who she is, or was. This is her. Please don't leave. Mr. Heston, please, take a look at her. This is the girl.
This did not happen. There's no camera that could have captured this shot at that moment. This was either shot before or after the interview. Maybe it's a recreation of something that did happen, but adding in these shots hurt the moment more than anything. It was so much more impactful just seeing things play out as they did. I get what the film was trying to do. It was trying to push that moment more to get the audience to feel more. It's the goal of most docs, but this just really falls flat. I still think there's a level of truth to the doc as it calls attention to a lot of issues within the US that are still prevalent today. Is it credible? Sure. Shady at times with its editing? Also yes.
I mean, what would happen if I ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight? Would I suddenly be on the fast track to becoming an obese American? Would it be unreasonably dangerous? Let's find out.
Super Size Me is a 2004 documentary following Morgan Spurlock as he only eats McDonald's for every single meal for 30 days straight. The film documents Spurlock and the changes of his body and health throughout the experiment. He also claims that he didn't have any underlying or previous health conditions prior to conducting the experiment. Over the course of 30 days, he began to experience significant weight gain, depression, lethargy, headaches, heart palpitations, and liver issues. He'd eaten a total of 90 McDonald's meals and had gained a total of 25 pounds. I genuinely don't understand how anyone found this documentary to be a groundbreaking piece of journalism. It is painfully obvious that eating too much McDonald's for every single meal of every single day and not exercising is going to take a toll on your health. You're going to feel like garbage and you are going to gain a bunch of weight. Even if it was 2004, you didn't need a documentary to tell you that. Not only that, but people have claimed that Spurlock's fat and calorie counts don't add up, and he refused to publish his food log. Teachers, universities, and other filmmakers repeated the experiment and went on their own McDiets. Several people reported lower cholesterol levels and weight loss. John Sensa, a high school science teacher, did the diet for 6 months and lost 56 pounds. Almost everyone who repeated the experiment kept and published a food log and didn't eat with reckless abandon like Spurlock. Each person who received these good results exercised regularly and kept a 2,000 calorie diet. So the way that Spurlock even conducted his experiment was done poorly. He also straight up lied about being in good health before going on the diet. He was an alcoholic and had been since he was 13 years old. A lot of the adverse health effects that he experienced during the experiment, like depression, heart palpitations, liver problems, sometimes even weight gain, are all withdrawal symptoms. There are too many unknown variables to be able to trust a word Spurlock says in the documentary. And all of this just throws whatever statement he was trying to make directly into the garbage can. All three of these docs are in some way concealing facts or manipulating the information you're seeing. However, it doesn't cross the line until the information they're presenting the audience doesn't have good evidence to back it up. Be more conscious when consuming any form of journalistic content. There's a ton of information circulating around the world, and a lot of it isn't entirely factual. Documentary is a huge source of journalistic content, and it's important to remain aware of the information that you're receiving. So the next time you finish watching a doc, maybe research the topic it was about a little bit. Learn more. Maybe what the doc gave you was correct information, or maybe it was all just entirely incorrect.